Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with your Backlash 411. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Backlash, to me, a solid 9. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about the show, with the exception of the women's match. I wasn't too fond of it, and just to get that out of the way, I'll go ahead and talk about it. It was just too much. There was just too much in the match. I'm not really a huge fan of 6-person tag matches, to be honest with you, whether it's men or women, either one. Unless it's like a main event of like Raw or something, you know, something that they just threw together. On a pay-per-view, I really hate it. Now I know that those spots are very coveted, and you know, to go ahead and just put all of the women on there is fine, just to get them on there. But it is what it is. By the way, shout out, I did have to pull out the Becky Lynch t-shirt just because it's the only one I have, and I don't really wear it that often. I figured, what the hell, why not wear it today? Especially since it's actually a pay-per-view day, and I can do this. Too sweet, guys. Just because. Anyway. Ziggler and Nakamura, it was a good match. I knew it would be. If I had to put a rating on Nakamura's debut main roster match, 7.5. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't great. It didn't need to be. Not for his first match. So I think it ended up being about where it needed to be. By the way, my thoughts on Shinsuke Nakamura, they haven't changed in years. He's a good worker. I don't see what all the fuss is about this charisma that the guy has. I don't see it. I mean, I see a little bit of charisma, but like JBL, and of course this is just JBL trying to put him over on commentary, which I love, by the way, because that's what he needs to do, is talking about how he's so charismatic, but the people are, you know, buying into it, which I guess literally they should. Me coming from my perspective of actual, you know, someone that has been in the ring, I don't, you know, I see so many facets, so many different facets of the in-ring work and the business and things that other people don't get. I don't see it. I don't see Nakamura being a top guy in WWE. I just don't see it. And it's not because of the language barrier. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. Because he speaks enough English well enough to be in that spot. I just don't think it's going to happen. Ziggler, phenomenal. Just phenomenal. To me, Ziggler's in-ring work is way better than Nakamura's. And that's just me. To me, from where I was sitting, Ziggler led that whole match. Which is fine on occasions, but and it probably is what needed to be during this match. You know, Ziggler, whether or not, however long Nakamura's been wrestling, because I forget how long he's been wrestling. I know that Ziggler's been wrestling for 15 years, so 13 or 15, something like that. He is the veteran because he's been in WWE for so long. He is the veteran in this match, whether or not Nakamura's been wrestling 20 years. You know, he's the veteran because he's been on that level for way longer. The tag titles was very entertaining. This is how you do entertainment with wrestling and it work. The match, the actual match, was very good. If I had to put a scale on it, if I was scaling it or rating it, I would say it was about an 8. Of course, for me, a 10 is just out of this ballpark. By the way, the match everybody's talking about from last night was the UK title match. I think, for my money, because of the storytelling, the Bobby Roode and Hideo Itami match was better as far as storytelling, but even better than that was the Roddy versus EY match that started off. To me, that was the best match of the whole weekend. And I'll get some backlash on that. Haha. But that's just the way it is. The Sami Zayn Baron Corbin match, very physical. Of course, by the way, for those that didn't watch the show, Shinsuke won, and then the Usos retained as well. Sami Zayn beat Baron Corbin with a haluba kick just very quickly, which is how you need to beat Baron Corbin. You know, it needs to be boom, 1, 2, 3, we're out. You know, we're done. The 6-woman tag match, like I said, I didn't exactly love it. I mean, it was okay. It could have been and should have been a lot better. The Women's Coalition, not the Welcoming Committee. I hate that name. That's why I have dubbed them the Women's Coalition. They get the win here. Natty taps Becky Lynch. Maybe I shouldn't have wore the t-shirt. Who knows? The United States title match was match of the night tonight. Fantastic athleticism and aggression shown in this match. The count out victory for AJ, I didn't love it, and I still don't. Being about an hour, well, a little over an hour maybe removed from it, I still don't love it, but I still think it was probably the best finish for this story going forward. These two guys are going to have more matches, but I just think I would have, you know, like anybody else, I would have rather seen a winner and a loser. There are certain times where a countout is the absolute perfect ending to a match, but in today's world, it gets harder and harder to do that. You know, 25 years ago, it was so easy to have a meaningful match like this end in a countout, and people, you know, don't feel cheated. They may not love it, but they don't feel cheated. And I don't feel cheated at all by this finish, because I know what's coming. I know that there's more for these two that's coming up in the next few months, maybe leading into SummerSlam. I mean, who knows? Because they change their minds on things all the time. We know this. The Eric Rowan and Luke Harper match was a solid match. I love how it was set up on Talking Smack last week, and it gave about as good as it was going to. I don't know that these two guys are going to have just a spectacular match. Nowhere near the caliber of AJ and Kevin Owens, and which was a good placement for this match, by the way, before the main event and right after that match, because they knew the fans needed a spot where they were going to calm down, and this was perfect for that. But you know, they're not going to go out there and just absolutely steal the show, even though Harper, with the right person, can. I hope that they do something with Eric Rowan with this whole mask. You know, the mask is kind of like the way the head was for Al Snow. It was kind of his guiding light, and this is how the mask is kind of for Eric Rowan. I really hope that they continue this and they build him up, and you know, who knows where they can go with this going forward. And the WWE title match. Hashtag don't hinder Jinder. Jinder Mahal wins the WWE title. And by the way, biggest pop of the night. For anybody that doesn't follow Mike Johnson on, shout out Mike, on Twitter, I can't remember, I'd have to look at my computer, but he's like, dive, I think he said dive, Jinder dive, something like that. Pop. Just, it's fantastic. For those of you that don't know, go back, just Google Randy Orton, Indie Workers, and dive, and it'll all come up, and you'll understand how funny and fantastic that was. But you're gonna have to do some research on it, because I'm not gonna talk about all that right here. I can't wait to see. I said it from the beginning. Jinder could be JBL from 2004. And JBL was calling the match, of course, because he's SmackDown color commentator. This is going to be good going forward. I want to see Jinder keep the belt until at least, you know, Survivor Series-ish. JBL, when he won the belt, He won the belt in, I believe, also in May of 2004, and kept it until WrestleMania the next year when he did the job for John Cena, to put John Cena over, you know, for his first title reign. So, let's see where it goes. I am thoroughly excited. I gave it a standing ovation, the finish, because it's just phenomenal that they would do this. I can't wait to see where they go. The WWE title needs new lifeblood pumped into it. And the main event scene needs new lifeblood pumped into it. And pumping Jinder into that role, which is not unlike the JBL character, to be honest with you. There's a lot of similarities there that maybe people aren't picking up or don't care about. I do. As a wrestling historian, I love it. There it is. So that's all I've got for this. I will see you guys tomorrow night as I live tweet Monday Night Raw and see how they continue to build for Extreme Rules in just 2 weeks. So, without further ado, deuces. As always, I'm Chaos. You're not too sweet.